hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Hopefully that fixes it. Hi, what's up? How we doing? So, yeah, today, let's move crouch interact. Okay. What's up? But yeah, today we are playing the Stanley Parable. Luckily I didn't get too far. I was just doing like the setup stuff. So I've wanted to play this game for a while, and I'm excited to finally be playing it. I think it's gonna be a good time. I, unfortunately, with the lack of sound right now, do not know how things are going to sound. Thank you so much for the resub, Hunter. I appreciate it. Y'all are fucking awesome. I appreciate you. Let's go! Oh my goodness. I think it's so cool that like Twitch and Prime work together like that so that people can get like free sub on Twitch. I think that's like a really, really cool thing to have. We need more things that like work together. You know what I mean? Like I think if we had more things that worked together, it'd be good. I really hope that when I hit begin the game, it doesn't like blow my eardrums out. My thing with the headphones I use is it always starts off with the volume cranked to like 1,000,000,000, and I have to turn it down a bunch. But this game starts off with like not a ton going on, so we're not gonna find out until I actually get in there. Oh boy. Okay, let's go. The end is never, the end is never, the end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I have no sound. Hold on, why I have no sound? Audio. That's really weird.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in...
Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm not sure what's going on today.
room 427, and he pushed buttons.
There it is.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push. How 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Thank you for the hydration reminder. I appreciate it. And thank you for the stretch. So, yeah, my understanding of this game is you can Like, you can either follow what the guy says, or you can, like, ignore it, and he'll kind of, like, he'll react to it. Hello? Where'd everybody go?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where's the meeting
No
room?
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I don't know what that says. Let me in. Whee! I'm so, like, slidey. Okay, I'm going somewhere, I guess. Yeah, I'm literally, like, gliding on this floor. Hello?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, I'm gonna listen to this guy for now. Just to see what happens.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Meeting room, meeting schedule. Marketing Mondays. Rick France? Everyone is unique, you most of all. Number of slides on this slide. Slides, charts, and slides. What? Okay. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase in graphs. Please no more charts, please and begging. The boss appreciation minute. Circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Jeez. I haven't seen any type of PowerPoint in fucking years. What are your dreams for the future? I don't know. Sleep? Sleep and good food, mostly. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing at work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. Okay, goodbye. I'm going up to my boss's office, I believe. Okay, listening to this guy.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Gotcha, buddy. We're following the voice in my head. It's fine. Here? Executive bathroom. The doors just close back on their own, I guess?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Hello? Okay, I don't like this. It's creepy in here. Yep. Oh. Kind of sounds familiar. That's fair. I'm sure I've probably
Descending
heard the
deeper
voice
into the building,
before.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Am I getting answers? Oh, hello? That was rude.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm sorry. Escape, okay. Well, we're following him for now. Oop.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I mean, I guess. Why not? Might as well. What am I here for? Employee observation protocol? Oh, this button? Boop.
Now the monitors
He's
jumped
dead.
to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Jesus. That's a lot of screens. Holy crap. How much money you think they're spending on electricity in this place? Because, what? What do you do? Boop!
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his...
I guess so.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Well, I mean, probably.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
How am I supposed to do that? Hi, yeah, I have no idea how to... Got no clue how to do that. Awaiting input. This? Is this what you want me to do? Maybe? System power.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I mean, just hitting off isn't destroying it. Yeah, I am Stanley. System power. Yeah, if I just hit off, someone can just hit on again. I feel like... Whatever, if you say so. Oh. Did I do it? Thank you for the hydration reminder. Appreciate it.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Aww, that's actually like really sweet. Freedom!
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Aw, I love that. That was really sweet. But yeah, then it just, I think, kind of loops and you can do, like, different things. Hooray! Yeah, so now, if I don't listen to him, we'll get, like, different reactions.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So yeah, there are spots where you can, like, branch off. Awaiting input? Input received. What does that mean? Awaiting input received.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Can I go back to my office? No. Okay. I'll keep that input thing in mind, I guess. Let me in! I want to explore!
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, since he said left, I'm gonna go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And show me your secrets.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
It's very blue.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Okay, I get it, I'm going. Relax.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Don't tell me what you're gonna find. Secrets? Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. But if it'll cause death, what are you gonna do? Charge my corpse?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Asking for who now? Who's her? I'm Stanley.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who? I have no idea what we're talking about. I'm very confused. This place is fucking huge. Oh, darkness. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
No. I don't know who this is, and I don't want to pick up the phone. Plus, it's what you're telling me to do. Nah, fuck this shit. Unplug it.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Oh, no.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What? So no.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
What? Yeah, very
welcome
educational.
back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
I'm very confused. Wasn't the last choice I made about the phone? Such an educational video. 10 out of 10.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No thank you. I like this way.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh. Why does it all look weird? Why is everything all twisty in here? What? Dude, I think your world is broken a little bit. Everything's backwards and mushed together and twisted. Look at the fucking filing cabinets. Why do they look like that? They're like half melted. Hello? Okay. Back we go. Hi! Nah, this way still. There's really nothing for me to do. I have to go his way, don't I? I guess. Fine. Can I go, like, back? No.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work.
I'm sorry.
Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work?
Out.
I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh, dear God. What are you doing? Stop it! I pissed him off. Oh. What? You gave me choice. I wanted the choice.
Oh! I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
I mean,
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Ooh.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make...
Oh, hello?
...behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wasn't he just in the middle of crashing out at me? Why am I here again? No.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Oh.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means
so
choosing
sick of
responsibly
me.
and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No. Sorry, I'm committed. I'm committed to not doing the thing you want me to do. I'm so sorry. But, now you're not gonna say anything? The silent treatment? I think I'm getting the silent treatment.
No! Why did you do that?
There we go.
Quickly, hurry back.
Oh! Jesus!
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Oh,
that
not
means
the
choosing
loop.
responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No. I'm committed to going right. I think I broke him. Hello? Are you gonna yell at me? Tell me that I ruined everything or something? Yeah, that's not how a filing cabinet should look, I don't think. Thank you for the stretch. Mr. Voice, you got anything?
No! Why did
There
you
we
do
go.
that? Quickly, hurry back.
Oh.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Thank you for the hydration reminder. Appreciate it. So here's the thing I don't want to. But I think we're done. Like, I think he's just gonna do... I think we're stuck on a loop at this bit. This doesn't feel like he's saying
No!
anything
Why did you do
differently.
that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, it is too much for him. He's so sick of me. Okay, so going
No!
back.
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, fine. We weren't getting anything new anyways. Now I can go this way though, and then go for like the escape.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
You're not letting me in the broom closet this time? He's so sick of me. He's like, just go.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I mean, you haven't left me with any choice on this one. Damn. Fine, fine. He's so sick of me. Oh, the fancy bathroom's not even set up anymore. Oh? Why are there...
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Hello? I don't know. What do you say? Shark 115?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. I'm hitting it.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I'm trying. Night Shark 115. It's not working.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously.
I'm taking it
If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
He's mean to me.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What? Why am I up here?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end?
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
That's what I look
like. Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please.
Interesting.
Do something. The story needs it.
Well, now he sounds so sad.
You hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
That was so weird. Oh. The end is loading, the end is never. Hi. Okay. Interesting.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I want to see, what's up with this? Input received. So is that just like every time I get into a new loop?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Interesting. Okay. I'm going. Hold your horses. Now I want to go like
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I'm gonna go like I'm listening to him because I want to get to that one bit that's like escape or whatever.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
But yeah, if I were to like stay in here, the game would comment on it.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
I mean, it's not
no
empty.
reason to still be here.
It's got stuff, it's got tools and tape and things. Okay, fine, I'm going.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I'm gonna go downstairs first. Sorry, buddy, I want to explore. Ooh. Red light? I'm intrigued.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh, we didn't go anywhere.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real.
Oh,
I must be
God.
real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
Jesus.
And everything went black.
What? Hello?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Jesus.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Jesus. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Oh, well, that was an ending. We've got, what, like 3 endings so far, I think? I want to look for the computer.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Because something's going on. Oh, I don't see it this time. Okay. But yeah, I want to go to the...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, la la la.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Don't get fired.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm going. Fancy bathroom's back. Up. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. I think I can hit it more if I see it again. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I think I have to fill it, so I think I have to do it 5 times. So I've got to look for it 2 more.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
2,
stunned
8,
to discover
4, 5
not an
or
indication
something.
of any human life. What could it
2,
mean?
8,
Stanley wondered
4,
aloud
5.
to nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly
Sorry,
as possible,
voice.
he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So
sorry.
he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
He's so sick of me. He's like, let me speak, damn it. Okay, can I go now? I got places to go, things to do, people to
Feeling
see.
soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Yeah, because if I go this way, then there's the little escape thing. So let's get over there. Okay, back to the crate.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No. Sorry.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Jesus.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nah, I want to
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Sounds good to me. Is it actual death? Oh! I didn't think I'd actually die. Oh, no, I'm still falling. This isn't death, I'm alive. Oh, Jesus.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh no! I'm sorry, Stanley! I guess smush.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator,
Who the fuck
as
are
Stanley
you?
was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I didn't get smushed. New narrator. Yeah, the old one was just done.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Stanley's computer. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development and through the core layout, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Cool. The office. Interesting. Button sounds. A selection of sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Interesting. I think I like 5 best, personally. The office computers. Hey, solitaire! I didn't see solitaire anywhere. Thank you for the hydration reminder. Appreciate it. I miss the old narrator. I liked him. He was mean, but like... Oh, the credits. That's really cool. What's over here? The office. Maintenance room. Early version of the maintenance room. Printer. Interesting. Okay, this place is really cool. Ultra Deluxe announcements. In December 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of the Stanley Parable at the Game Awards. These are screenshots of the videos we made for the announcement and the game's delay. Hey, that's the version I'm playing right now. Warzone? What? Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who liked shooters, which was not our intention. Okay. Oh. Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. Okay. Interesting. How much like seeing two small bad and swim trunks. Yeah, I liked it as much as I like walking in the park, watching the sunset, and dare I say pushing buttons. Okay. The office. It's over here. Cargo lift. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo is actually stored. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted an option of the player falling to their death. Oh, this place is like very detailed. Meeting room, maintenance layout, the flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Okay. Oh, there are so many things. Game is now paused. Escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. Zending? Screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Levers. These levers were originally a part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. This place is very detailed. Holy wow. Exit 18. Countdown desk. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown ending. Okay. Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending as it existed in beta. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Okay. Interesting. This place is huge. I feel like I could just look at all this stuff forever. Game design mockup. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mockup is still in the game. Stanley's office from left to right. The evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, the second in March 2012. The 3rd in February 2013. Okay. Okay, so I've been down here, I think. Yeah. And then is there other stuff over here out of curiosity? This place is huge. I am intrigued. Office clock. Boss's office. Screams from the development at the boss's office. Cool, cool. The lounge. Underground, an early version of the underground portion of the game.
Then he pushed the number 8. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end
was
this
the
injustice
narrator,
forever.
recorded dialogue for the
Let's
entire
see.
game roughly
Stanley
3
walked
separate
through the
times over
green
the
door.
2 years of
Stanley
development.
pushed the
These are
big red
clips from
button.
early takes that were not used in the final game.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have
Okay,
the most
goodbye.
fundamental understanding of good.
It's too much voice. See you later. This is really fucking cool. I like this a lot. Freedom ending. This is the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. Okay, so now I'm back here. Exit time? Exit time.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Off? Oh.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Oh,
But
I'm
listen
back.
to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Yikes. I got smooshed. Interesting. Okay, so that's what, like 4 endings? I'm losing track of our endings. We're back! First things first, gotta look for
All
the
of his
computer.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. I just know we gotta get through one more time to get the last one.
When
So I'm
Stanley
gonna go
came to a
this
set
way,
of 2 open doors,
and
this was not
then,
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
jump off
perfectly
the
well.
thing,
Perhaps he wanted to stop
'cause
by the
that's
employee lounge
technically an
first,
ending, I think.
just to admire it. Wow.
Yeah, so let me
Yes,
through
this
here.
room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Yeah, sorry,
Stanley
I gotta
was
go
so
here.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Bye!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, now I should be able to find the last... Ha! Did I do it? I did something. Hello? Welcome, Stanley, to heaven? push them all. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Like, do they light back up before they get to me? Yeah. Okay, so doing all of them isn't really an option. Just hit them all! Interesting. Do I just stay here forever pushing buttons? Like, I'm kind of curious now. Is this an end? Hold on. Now I'm kind of curious if this is an ending. Like, was this the end of one? Okay, so this one I have to leave on my own. Begin the game again, please. Thank you. Well, there's another ending down. Okay, so we've seen that.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Not the right office. What are you talking about? The narrator is confusing me a bit.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, I'll be nice, I
And
guess.
so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
What's the button do? Sorry, I can't go your way right now. I'm discovering stuff.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Don't wanna. Okay, fine.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Okay.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Okay.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Are you sure? Oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Okay. I wonder how many endings there
All of
are.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait.
What?
Wait, what?
It's a lot
No,
of doors.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
That's a lot of doors. I'm gonna pick this one. Just stick to the right, and something will happen eventually. Hello? Hello?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, restarting again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. La 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 la.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Where all the doors go? Thank you for the hydration reminder. No, not much. Just discovering different endings and breaking things, because now there are no doors there. Before there were too many doors.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
What?
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay. What?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
I think
Do you
it
know
was
what?
office.
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay. It's a lot of restarting. The
All right,
Stanley
I've
Parable
got a solution.
Adventure
This
Line?
time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Apparently I won. I don't... Okay. Follow the line. But the line's going different than we always. What? Okay, I'll follow the line.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
If you say
Here's
so.
a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Adventure music.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Fern?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh,
no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
oof. Not another restart. Goddamn. Okay. We are somewhere doing something. Okay.
You know what, Stanley?
Oh.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I feel like the narrator's
Oh,
having...
no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
Sounds
No
good.
lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I think the narrator might be having like a midlife crisis or something. I don't know.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Oh.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Jesus, that... The narrator's thinking hurts my head.
Oh, hold up, what's
The
this?
confusing ending?
The confusion ending. You're telling me... That's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
I don't know.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Ah! Not the loud-ass alarm in my ear, hello? Narrator, we're back again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's kind of sad to think that he's just forgetting things. New content, gimme!
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. Where am I? Am I gonna get dead again? Oh, it's dark in here. Where the fuck am I?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
We're not going anywhere. There's no button.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go.
Oh.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
He's actually on board this time. Let's go!
I have to say, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I got you.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Press X to jump. I can jump now? Okay. I mean, they're not wrong. That is technically new content. Oh, we're on our last jump. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go! Bop! Damn. Okay. Goodbye, I guess.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness.
Maybe?
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I don't think he's always on board, but I'm vibing with him right now. Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
I
What
love
do you
the
say,
narrator.
friend?
Sounds good. Let's go. The narrator is kind of chill. Oh, this isn't... Hello? Mr. Narrator, we're not where we usually are.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something.
Okay. I'ma trust him. We bonded, okay? I wanna see what he's got. Oh. Where are we going?
You remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Ooh.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Interesting. Okay. The original remake. Good times. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Unachievable, it is impossible to get this achievement. Interesting. Not Stanley being dead.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Jesus. The original. What's down here? Maintenance. Okay.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Where do you want me to go now? The serious room.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Oh.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
I don't know. You don't remember your memory zone?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Yikes.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
It's raining.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
I mean, a little
bit. You
bit.
can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
Smidge.
Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Yeah, I'm starting to
I feel
see...
like a failure.
Oh.
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I see why all these were left down here, though. Like, they just bum them out. I mean, listen, criticism can be tough sometimes, but that's okay. It'll be fine.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button?
Right.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay, listen, as an ex-people pleaser, that's not good to do. It's okay, not everyone's gonna like you.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time.
Hi.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. Okay. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once, that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently.
Okay.
I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
That's valid.
All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
I wonder if I
treatise,
sit here if he'll
manifesto,
actually get sick of
treatise,
one, or if
manifesto,
this is the loop where I
treatise,
have to hit the
manifesto,
button.
treatise, manifesto,
Like if I just sit
treatise,
here for a while,
manifesto,
will he actually
treatise,
make a decision?
manifesto, treatise, manifesto,
Okay.
treatise,
For the sake
manifesto,
of all of our sanity, I am
treatise,
going to hit the damn
manifesto,
button again. Okay, good luck,
treatise,
narrator. I'll see you
manifesto.
after.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button.
Yeah, that might have been
Although
good.
I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review. This game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
Okay, do I hit the button again? Are you done? I want to hear him ramble. I like his ramblings. Next.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well,
Hi, Raptor.
I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It
How
was
are you? I hope
unendurable
you're
by any
doing
means, but
well.
it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Okay.
I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I
Yeah,
don't
there
feel
was.
quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere?
No.
A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. Can
Love
maybe
you and your
just
rambling.
ram your way through a wall?
I don't
Is there
think
any
I'm.
possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave?
I mean,
Please,
I can
I'll
try.
take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a
Don't think
door of
it's
some
working.
kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button.
I'm
Please,
sorry,
please,
narrator.
please do not
love you.
press the skip
Goodbye.
button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button.
Well, now
Got
I
it?
have to.
Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Okay, see you later. Let's go.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Jesus.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley.
So there's literally
no door.
nothing else
There's
to
just
do
you
but hit
and
the
the
button.
and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen.
Well,
I
we
have
have to
no
find
idea
out.
how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe. I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again.
Yeah.
Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But
I
here
am
I
the
am.
narrator.
I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful
Thank you for the hydration
fury
reminder.
to alter and
Sorry,
to change
narrator.
and to
See you
break
later. Bye.
anything. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
It's
oh, my
dark
goodness.
in here.
I have someone to talk to again.
Oh, that's
Stanley,
sad.
I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
Jesus.
Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me
Okay.
just talking?
Sorry, bye, narrator. I just want to see what happens. I'm curious. I want another ending.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here
Hi.
again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever
Jesus.
sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me
No.
describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
Okay, see you
There is
later.
only-
Bye. Poor narrator. Hello? Narrator. How long has it been? More than a year. Okay, he's giving me the silent treatment now. Or he just gave up. I don't know. The plant's dead. Next! Ah! Make the beep stop. Someone's gotta replace the batteries in that. Oh, the clock fell down. Okay, get me out of here, please. I don't like the beep beep.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point.
are you
It was meant to
talking to?
speak to the human condition. But
I just
where are
got
the
here.
jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
Did
It wasn't
he
enough.
write a
They had to
story?
leave a pathetic little thumbs
No,
down
he's
review
just
and make
ranting.
all of
Okay,
their
bye.
pitiful...
I have no idea how much time's gone by. Silence again? Narrator, hello?
The
I
end
don't
is
know.
never the end, is 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 never the end,
Hello?
is never the
Are
end,
you
is never
okay?
the end,
Okay,
is never the
good
end,
luck.
is never the...
I have no idea how much time is going by when I press this damn button. I mean, there's not like a way for me to get out. I kind of have to just keep pushing the button to progress somewhere. Boop. Oh dear God. Narrator, I think I broke it. I think he's gone. I think he gave up on me. Oof. Next. Oh, there's light outside. I can't remember if I did it, but thank you for the hydration reminder. Appreciate it. The poor narrator is just trying to live his life, and I exist for chaos. Next. Goddamn! There's a whole garden growing in here. Okay. The narrator's just done. He checked the fuck out. Next. Where'd all the plants go? Well, I liked them. It was starting to look alive in here. Boop! Okay, that's a creepy sound. I don't like it. Then suddenly the Stanley Parable just turns into a fucking horror game. Next. Oh. Yeah, narrator said, fuck you, fuck off, I'm out. You're not gonna work anymore because you're down there, I guess? Where the fuck am I? Hello? Follow the sun. I don't know. I'm very confused. Makes me think of this whole bit is making me think of the one episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender when they go find like the library of all the knowledge and Toph has to like hold the building up. Oh, hello? Loading. What did I do? Oh, I'm back.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Now me staring directly into the lights. He's not even telling me to do what he normally tells me to do. Hello? New content. So
oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
What's up? Give me something. Me and the narrator be buddies. That was the one with the giant owl, because the owl was the one with all the information. And then they had to, like, give him something new to know. I miss Avatar: The Last Airbender. I want to rewatch
You see, Stanley,
that soon.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay. Fancy.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Okay, I'm with you. Let's go.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
They're back 2 doors. Okay.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Okay. Who took the red marker? Me. Goddamn. Very intense me. This way to the show floor. Gotcha. New features, new content. I'm with ya, I'm with ya. La 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 la. I started rewatching Big Bang Theory, and I'm realizing very quickly that the only reason I watch the show is for Sheldon. I don't think I remotely like any of the other characters, like, on their own.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay. What? Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay. I'm with you. Name.
Jim.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
I am Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply?
Jesus.
Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I
If
am
so,
Jim.
then please step forward and press the button.
There we go. Forever and always, I am now Jim Bean. It's fine. Okay. I am Jim. Hit the button.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
I am Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
One more.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Nah.
I'm putting the Jim button away.
Never too much
Otherwise,
Jim.
soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
I am Jim. What do you mean? You wanted me to be Jim and now I am, and you're like, nah, too much Jim? Okay, interesting. Road to the perfect button, too big, too small, just right. I'm sorry, what is this? Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Okay.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Please, no screenshots. Office decorations, infinite hole. Give me the bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Okay.
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Okay.
Come on, give it a try.
Sounds good. I am Jim. Jesus.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
So I guess for anybody new, let me introduce myself. I am now Jim. This is my emotional support
Does
bucket.
anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That
Why
really
not?
should be an award if it isn't already.
Okay. Get my emotional support
Okay, I'll be
bucket.
honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I like the blue.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well
Damn.
Someday it is.
Then why'd you even ask me? I like the blue. I mean, neither of the words really make sense. Jesus. Okay,
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
I mean, you could have put both. Both would have been fine. Thank you for the stretch, Raptor. My spine appreciates you. Oh. Yeah, I needed that one. Free, new, and easy trophy. I can't believe it's that simple. Get it here. Okay, give me a trophy. Free trophy. Get yours right now. 1, pull the lever. 2, receive your new trophy. 3, no more steps. It just works. Get yours right now. Hunter, thank you for the hydration reminder. Me and my kidneys appreciate it, because I am one dehydrated motherfucker.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Give me it. God damn it, narrator. I'm not a wizard, Stanley. Okay, well let's get out of here then.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The jump circle!
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Damn. No jump, no jump. Okay. I don't know what we haven't seen. Hold on. Let's see. We've seen the jump circle. There's this map. We've seen the free trophy. We've seen the button saying the name. We haven't looked at the merch. We got the bucket. Love the bucket. 10 out of 10. Peak content. We saw office decorations. I don't think we've seen the collectibles. And the infinite hole. Hold on. You got collectibles for me?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay. Hell yeah, I got 1 out of 6. Let's go. Collect them all.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the infinite hole yet. So let's go. I'm down. Listen, I'm very into everything. Okay. Just keeps going. Sign me up.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay. Sounds good. Sign me up.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
No, you told me infinite falling. I don't want to go back.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Nah, I'm good. I want to keep falling. I got my bucket. I'm Jim. What else do I need?
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
I don't know.
I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Goddamn.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay. I mean, I guess. New mug. Yeah, sure. Let's
Great.
get back up.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Okie dokie. Damn, not gonna let me go up? Okay, I see what you're going for. And then where was we didn't specifically look at the merch. That's new. Okay. Got my bucket. Okay, is it time to go? Merch. Okay. Alrighty, I'll play along. Where's the exit? We'll get out of here, I suppose. Yeah, I think we saw most stuff. Hold on, where's the settings world champion? It's next to jumping circle over here. Oh, is it when we did the balloons? Yeah, I think that must be. Have we really seen everything? No, settings world champion. Up here? Yeah. Damn, I can't go in? Fine, be that way then. I didn't want to see your settings world champion whatever. Next. Onwards and upwards. Exit.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
I'm ready. Give me that new content. Hell yeah! Wait, that's actually so fucking cool. Okay, gimme.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Nah, I'm Jim.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number
The
427.
balloons.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
My friend. We are together again. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. I will humor him for now. Just because I want to see what all he's added.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Ah!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines.
Aha!
Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay, let's go back up for now, because I am going to follow what he says for the time being. Anybody in here? Ah!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
We got half of them. Let's go.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Haha!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Okay, we need 2 more. The bucket is my new best friend. I'm also still named Jim. Remember me.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay. I'm keeping my peepers
Stanley and the
peeled.
bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Okay, fine. Just stay with me, bucket. We'll be okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I love that the bucket's wondering too. I 10 out of 10. Peak gameplay. Okay.
The monitors
My
jumped to
eyes
life,
open, bro.
and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Okay, I need 2 more of those little figures.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way.
I don't know how
and the
we're
bucket made a sassy
high-fiving
comment
when the bucket has
about
no
taking
hands.
down the system.
What if I hit on?
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Oh, this one. This one.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along?
I love the
Stanley
bucket.
marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Aw, owls. Damn. Okay, bird ending. Hell yeah. Me and the bucket forever, bro. Okay.
All of his code simply missed a memo. Stanley
forget my
lifted the bucket
bucket.
into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Come on, buddy. We got 2 more figures to find.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley
I
had felt
need
the
2 more
bucket calling to
figures.
him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
No.
Yes, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Oh?
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yeah, apparently the bucket can talk.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
Okay. What happens? Kinda
This
curious.
is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Jesus. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press to take me to work with you. Okay.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Bucket! To take me back home with you. Okay, is that what we're meant to do? Yeah?
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Back to work.
Well, I'll
Bucket.
try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press okay.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Got you.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press to go back home. Okay.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Go home and work and home and work.
Oh, no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
No.
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No,
I
my
need
bucket.
it. Give it to me now. Give it or
Close
I'll...
your eyes. Goddamn, not the narrator trying to swoop in and steal my bucket. Go back to work, Stanley. Was that an ending? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Listen, Bucket, I love you. We are best friends, but I think I'm gonna do this one on my own this time. So see you later. Yeah,
Then Stanley came to a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Lift,
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, sorry.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
I want to get on, like, this little pathway.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
It'll
I'm
go
not.
up.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really?
Ah!
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Danger
Are you that
everywhere.
convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Yeah.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Ooh.
You're getting close now,
Ha-ha,
Stanley.
we need
You've
one
nearly
more.
gotten all of the Figler anilines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Hell yeah, I need one more. Okay, what were
Now
you
listen
yapping
carefully,
about?
this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No!
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I mean, he doesn't handle feedback well, so I'm gonna go with 1. Let's just make him crash
A
out.
1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. Up. Worldwide leaderboard. It's a lot of doors opened. Jesus. That's me? Goddamn. Okay, can I rate that again?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
No, not really.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Thank you for the hydration reminder. What if I just let it go? Because that noise is terrible.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Mostly
because
to
if it's
spite
the
you.
latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
we're going somewhere. He literally gives up. Narrator's so done with my bullshit. Oh, hi.
Ah, fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory you from up high in your creep tower? Perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay. See, I don't think I have.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Lake. Hey, I want to go to the lake.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
There was a lake.
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Oh.
Loading again.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley,
yes,
I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Bop. Bop. I am tiny.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Jesus. I think you might have gone a teensy bit overboard. Woo! Whee!
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. Hold on. What are you doing?
I'm falling down, I guess. Did I get lost? Oh.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it.
Oh! Falling further. Jesus. Sorry, narrator. Goodbye. Where the hell are we? Oh, I found light. Hey, this is mine. Can't do anything to it, though. Oh. Hello?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Damn. Yoda's doing good. He's chilling. Oh. So that was another ending. I am curious what he was going to say before I fell through
The
the
meeting
thing,
room.
though.
Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This one says a large room, a lot of boxes. So, okay. I can actually be told. Because, yeah, bathroom, near fireplace, inside of a sequel exhibit, a large room, lots of boxes. Okay, where's the large room with a lot of boxes?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously.
With all the boxes. Hold on. Begin the game again, please. Room with a lot of boxes. Room with a lot of boxes. Room with a lot of boxes.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I need to find a room with a lot of boxes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
This is a room with boxes. I don't know if it's a lot of boxes.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No. If we go down, I'm trying to remember, because we've been in so many spots at this point, that I genuinely don't know off the top of my head.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Yeah, no problem. Can't jump. Ha, ha, ha.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
I don't know where the box is. No. That's the spoiler ending. So it's not here. Begin again. A lot of boxes, a lot of boxes, a lot of
Stanley
boxes.
knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Okay, so if I go this way...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it
Come
was,
on, I can find
the
the
lounge.
last one.
But eager to get back to business,
Okay.
Stanley took the
Not that
first open
way.
door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following
There's a room with a lot
directions,
of
it's
boxes.
incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ooh. Down here? I found it! Oh, come here. My child.
And there it is,
Ah!
the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This
Hooray!
is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here, and now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Hell yeah. Does that mean I can jump down here, or is it still death?
But in his eagerness
Yep.
to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay. I have one ending in mind that I want to wrap up on. I'm gonna take the bucket and have Stanley and the bucket get out together. To their freedom, to their happiness. to
Stanley,
their...
I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause
Or
on
not.
things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
I don't know
Didn't
about
it
my
fill you to
entire
the
life.
brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Okay.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
I got you. But then I want the bucket ending. Now remember when Stanley found the collectibles. Okay. This isn't what I was going for, but sure.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
7! I've got even more now.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Jesus.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you
It's the
remember?
Bathroom. I wonder what would happen if I picked the wrong one, but I don't care
Hey,
about that
that's
right now.
exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Does it though?
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
No,
Oh
we
well,
didn't.
I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
This way? Oh yeah, these doors.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh, how you found it? By the narrator. Hooray! Yes, I did. Thanks for watching. Not like I had much of a choice.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Come on, give me this last one.
And then, Stanley, we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Fair.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Oh. Okay. Well, there you go. We got them all again.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Okay. Okay, now can I do...
No, I'm not done.
God damn it,
I'm not ready to
narrator.
move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Thank you for the stretch. Okay, I guess we're doing things in reverse now.
Okay, yes. This spot in the warehouse. I remember this.
Jesus.
I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Okay. Narrator, I think you're going a little too heavy on the collectibles here. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yes, I do. Please don't. I don't want to watch it again. God damn it, narrator.
Yes,
Yeah, we just lived it.
I love that video.
We literally just lived it. We don't have to live it again. He's getting
Still
stuck in the
don't
past,
remember the pink
guys.
room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
See, I'm trying to remember where we actually got that one, and I can't for the life of me. Because there was
These
the
really were a
bathroom
treat to hunt
one.
down. You know,
There
if there had
was-
been any
oh,
kind of
the
reward
one
for
we
finding
got-
all of these, it
it's
really would have
replacing the one we
muted the
got
intrinsic
in the,
joy of collecting. I'm very
sequel,
glad we
like,
resisted the temptation.
examples.
Next one.
Okay, where are we going?